Welcome back to your channel. Today we're doing a movie review for Alien Romulus, and the only thing I have to say right now before I get into the spoiler free is this.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Classic. We are back.
And for you guys who don't know, the plot of this story essentially takes place between the first and second Alien movie. And of course, it's like right in between because that's like 57 years between those two movies. And this is like smack in the middle. It's 20 years after the original and 27 years before Aliens. So this is really a timeline that has not been explored. And at the end of this film, it still feels like a standalone film, which I absolutely love. But what makes this movie fantastic, in my opinion, it's like right up there. Not as good as the first two Aliens, but it's getting close to it. It's something that we've needed for a long time because Covenant was the last one, 2017, that came out. And that was 50-50 on people. Me personally, I love Covenant, but I really love Prometheus. But this brings back a lot more of that Alien and Aliens vibe, because mostly the atmosphere and the tone from the original movie, you see that all in this. And throughout this whole entire movie, there's a crap load of Easter eggs that I'm going to be saving it for the spoiler video next. But man, there's a lot I want to talk about, but it's so hard to talk about this movie without spoiling so many things, because there's one key character where it's like I had a feeling he was coming back, and sure enough he was. But yes, when I was in theater, half of the people were old people, and I'm like, I have a feeling these people watched the original Alien and the second Aliens in theater. So it was nice because you get to see the old audience and a brand new audience. You got a bunch of that Gen Z people in there, and no, they were not on their phones, so I was actually really happy with that. But you see a lot of connections for the original Alien movie and the second Aliens, and of course everything from like Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, AVP 1 and 2, Prometheus, Covenant, all the good stuff about that, you do see that in here. So Fede Alvarez, the director, you know, he did Don't Breathe and the remake for Evil Dead. He's starting to be the new horror director of like this time period. He's going, like, anytime he has his name on a project, it's almost a must see just because he's a director. That's how good this guy is becoming. But one thing that made this movie stand out was really the minimal, small amount of CGI. And whatever you do to see of the CGI is pretty solid. Besides that one character I cannot talk about. It just sits like a sore thumb. But once you get comfortable, once you give it time, it settles in and it's okay. Like, it's not enough to like be like give it a negative point on here. Like, I give it credit for trying and actually doing really good. But if you watch, you know, Star Wars Rogue One with that one character when they de-age that person, it's kind of like that. The characters, you fall for them so quick, so early. It's like the original movie. They're blue collar workers, and these aren't kids. These are young adults. These are like early 20s. But man, you fall for them very, very quick. And the android Andy is not a surprise in the trailer. They show he's an android because in some Aliens movies, you know, it's like what was it, the original Alien and Alien Resurrection? They're like surprised when they find an android. No, they show him off the bat. And this android, his personality is completely different than you ever seen from any other movies. It's almost like childlike, and like I absolutely love that. Andy's one of my favorite I almost call him Bishop. But back to his characters, they're all completely different, and the cast, the people that play them, is very diverse. You know, you got your Asian people, you got black, you got whites, but these are like not American whites, these are like British whites. It's like I can almost barely understand what they're saying sometimes. And of course you got a Mexican in there, so it's like you got a mix of all these diverse characters, and I love that about cast. But you have a clear leader, and you have someone that's really the nice guy. You have your clear asshole, and that asshole, he gets killed the way he should have got killed. And that kill reminded me of AVP 2. And if you know what I'm talking about from both of those, it makes a lot of sense. And that's really the only nod I noticed from AP2. But it starts off slow, and because you need that for a character development. You need that character development because when it's time for when it goes, you don't have time to care for them because you need to develop some interest in this character. So when they start dying or getting taken away, you want to be like, no, not that person. I want that person to survive. I want that person to live. And it fits in perfect. So you gotta give it a little time, but it's not boring at all. Like, it's never boring to the point where it's like I'm like, let's go. No, it was a little slow pace, but it's okay. You know, you need that for a character development. If I can just borrow you guys' time for 20 seconds, this is not a sponsor. This is about children that need our help. These are children that have cancer, leukemia, all the bad stuff and just kill. I'm from Iowa. We have a children's hospital. And you watch any of the Iowa football games during the first quarter, we do the Iowa wave to the children in the hospital. They deserve all the stuff. And I just want to say, guys, in the description box below, I have a link for description where you can donate. And that's all I want to say, guys, because I absolutely love Iowa and I love what they're doing with the Iowa children. So please, if you have money and you want to donate, go to the description box, give it to them. Do not give it to me. And the idea of the story is very, very simple. It's like you have a group of people that are getting screwed over by the company, and like, nope, I'm not doing this. I only live one life. I have a dream. Let's go capture this dream. And in doing so, you gotta go to the station to, to steal some stuff to be able to go to where you want to go. So the story is very simple. You have a group of people trying to survive, the planet. They want to get out. They want to escape from the Weyland-Yutani, because Weyland-Yutani, like, this is a mining planet, and there's no sunrise. It's dark 24/7, and they're pretty much controlling these people almost like they're slaves. And they're screwing them over, just like we saw in the original movie. They just screw over these average Joe people like us, and it just really pisses you off. Because me personally, when a company screws me over, man, that just, it's like, who do you think you are? You don't own me, dude. So these group of people try to escape the planet, and in doing so, they run into the Xenomorphs, facehuggers. So the story is pretty simple, where it's a survival horror movie. You have a group of people trying to survive, trying to escape, and they get killed off one by one. Very easy to follow. Like, you don't have to really think that much about it. And one thing I love about this movie is it doesn't matter if you've seen any of the Alien movies or not, because you can see all these Alien movies, and it just gives you all the Easter eggs that you're like, oh, that Leo DiCaprio scene.
Here I come.
Or if you're brand new coming into this, no problem at all. You're not going to be confused. You're not going to be like, wait, am I supposed to know who so-and-so is? Nope, not at all. And I'm really, really, really thankful they did not do anything Ripley cameo Easter egg. Because at the very end of the movie, when there was, the credits scenes, the end credits, it would have been nice to see a little nod of like them picking up Ripley in space, like at the end of the movie, they go like 27 years later, because when Ripley got picked up, that would have been nice. You just see the spaceship picking her up, and then the Marines, all that good stuff. But we didn't get any of that. But I'm really glad we didn't get anything Ripley throughout the movie. If there was going to be anything Ripley, it should have been at the end of the end credit scene, but we didn't get nothing, which is okay. It just makes this more of a standalone film. And now I think about it, I really am curious what deleted scenes there are, because I'm sure there's some deleted scenes out there that cannot wait for the 4K release, because I'm sure they're going to give some more Easter eggs on that. The practical effects of the Xenomorphs and the facehuggers was amazing. Amazing. That's what made the movies amazing. I'm a huge practical effects guy. The Xenomorphs. This Xenomorphs was made from the people that made the Xenomorphs in Aliens, the second movie by James Cameron. He brought those back to do the Xenomorphs. And then Peter Jackson, they did Lord of the Rings and that King Kong movie. His studio, I forgot what it's called. It's like, I don't even want to guess. But they designed the facehuggers and the eggs. So you got like two different teams working on this. And you can tell that they put whatever money they had for the budget was for the practical effects and the set design. The set design was very detailed, attention to detail. The original movie and the second movie, it's like identical. Not to the point where it's like, am I on the same spaceship? But it feels like you're on the same spaceship. It feels like you're in the same time zone, time period. Absolutely awesome. And at the end of the day, it felt like a fresh breath of fresh air, man. It's just, when you got done, you're like, finally, that was so satisfying. And it has such a rewatchable factor. Like, I already want to go back and watch it again. Because the first, when I watched it, I had my notes and all that good stuff. I had to go to the bathroom one time. So I know I missed a few things. But like, usually when I watch it a second time, I don't need my notes. I can just really, really focus, and I can look at other things that I wasn't focused on before. So I can't wait to go back and check out what I missed. But the one negative I do have about this movie isn't the CGI part, like, of that face I was telling you about. I can live with that. But the ending, I wasn't a big fan of how it ended. Like, I heard all about this third act. Like, yeah, it was tense and all that good stuff, but like, we have another creature. And it's like, are we doing that again? And the creature looked good and all that stuff, but it's just, I thought they would go a different direction. That's all I'm saying. Like, it wasn't to the point where I was like unsatisfied. Like, it was still satisfying, still entertaining, but I wish, maybe for a selfish reason, I wish they went a different route. But who am I? You know, I'm just a YouTuber. Space itself looks amazing because if you think about it, there's a lot of space movies and it's just like it doesn't look pleasant. It's just, but this movie, the space looks beautiful, but at the same time it looks terrifying. I never really met somebody that put space in a movie and made it look terrifying. It's really hard to describe, but like when I was watching this movie, and like if I was on that space station, I'd be kind of terrified, like, because you're really close to like the ring of a planet. I think, was it Saturn that has like a ring? It's like an asteroid belt. It is a beautiful, beautiful CGI shot, but it's also terrifying to look at because like you're so close to death, and space about it just. But I think the highlight of this movie is definitely the sound design, the sound effects, and the way they do not play sound. Because right when the movie starts, it's like no sound. Because of course in space there's no sound because there's nothing making noise, and it's hard to describe. But at first it's like the movie starts, it's like no sound going into the spaceship, and you're just about to eat a popcorn. You're like, because you don't want to be that one guy in the theater that's eating. There was one scene in the movie that all audience were like, yeah, or we were laughing. If you know what I'm talking about, I don't want to say it's a spoiler, but man, that was hilarious. I swear, I think there was maybe 40 of us in theaters, and I feel like all 40 of us were all either yeah or cheering, and you can tell people are fans of the second movie just because of that one scene. But it really felt like a great roller coaster ride. It was really fun. You strap yourself in. I wish I had that 4DX, though. You know, the chairs that move around and stuff. That would have been really cool, but we don't have that. I'm in Iowa. We're so limited. You know, we have more pigs and chickens than people, so we're not gonna get 4DX. But at the end of the day, it was a great mix of horror and action. You know, horror from the original movie, action from the second movie, and I felt like it was a proper bridge of the first and the second movie. And there's still enough room to fill in this gap, because you gotta think about the whole colony from the Aliens movie. There's a whole story of how that first facehugger, good son, Newt's father, to the point the Marines get there. That's a whole nother story there. We still gotta figure out where David went after Covenant. That's a whole nother story that we never got. So and then of course in the original Alien movie, the ship that they went on, that ship that they went on has nothing to do with Prometheus, because that planet was LV-223. They're on LV-426. So this was also the ship that didn't land in Covenant. So it's like we still got that to figure out. So I still feel like there's a lot of story that could be told. I know there's gonna be a TV series, Alien Earth, that'll be coming out on Hulu next year, and that's a whole nother story I'll be talking about. But I still feel like there's a lot more room to go here. And then at the end of it, you know, the survivors that survived, they went off to a different planet. We don't know what's their end story. Are we going to get end story to that? But that's a whole other question. And I'll be doing a video about, you know, next direction, where they should go from here. Sequel, leave this alone. What should we do? Because I don't know if Eddie Evers would come back. He seems like a guy where he'll do all his stuff in one movie and then move on to the next movie. Like, he might do a shark movie next. I don't know. He might be the next Jaws. Ooh. Fede Alvarez doing Jaws. Oh. That is interesting. I need to write that one down. But at the end of the day, this movie isn't up. It's not as good as the original and the second Alien, but that's tough to do. Like, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I really don't think so. But this is a clear third, fourth, or fifth. It's like no doubt the third, fourth. Nah, I wouldn't point fifth. It's definitely the third or fourth movie. That's definitely up to debate. I would say this is up to debate between this movie and Prometheus, or Covenant, however you want to look at it. I think it's in that range, and I'll be doing a ranking and all that stuff. That's why I don't want to save my rankings, because I want to save it for the ranking video. But for a SkyGene score, I give this like an 8.4 out of 10. I give it an A minus. Definitely an A minus. We're back. The Alien franchise is back. The Predator franchise is back. I did a poll on my channel just the other day asking if we should have an Alien vs Predator. Yes or no, or yes, but after a few more aliens and a few more predators just to make sure we're good. And if you want to check that out, go ahead. But it seems like everyone said yes. It's like a good 60-70% saying yes that we should have an Alien vs Predator coming up next. And I totally agree. I agree. But yes, that's my non-spoiler review for Alien Romulus. I'm going to be doing my next video will be nothing but the spoilers. So if you like, subscribe, you guys know how this stuff works. And remember, go Hawkeyes.